I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Dude, are you okay?
I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this and I will take that ride home.
The tit, the most unassuming of bird species. The tit is from a large family of small passerine birds which mainly occur in the northern hemisphere. Members of this family are commonly referred to as tits throughout much of the English-speaking world. These birds are mainly small, stocky, woodland species. Some have crests or beards. Just like another animal, the Alba commune pinae, they range from 4 to 8 inches. Many species live around human habitation and come readily for nuts or seed, and learn to take other foods. This message was presented by the DeWeather Institute for Climate Knowledge. The DeWeather Cares Knights Tits Kickball Tournament is coming this October and benefits 4 cancer-related charities. See DeWeather Center on Facebook for more information.
Have you joined the fastest growing fantasy motorsports app yet? On Grid Rival, you can join leagues with your friends and manage your own fantasy team on what race fans are calling, hands down, the best fantasy motorsport app out there. F1 and MotoGP leagues are now live for the 2021 season. Joining a league on Grid Rival will make every race more exciting, more engaging, and of course, more competitive. Download Grid Rival now on your iPhone or Android smartphone. Grid Rival is an unofficial application and not associated with Formula One, MotoGP or any of their athletes.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Finger Lakes region of upstate New York, where tonight the Grid Rival ESRA INDYCAR series will play host to round number 2 of their current championship season. My name is Chris Graham with the National Racing Network. It is a pleasure to have you along here. 80 laps, the scheduled distance for tonight practice just getting concluded. New driver to the series, Navarre Luce, going to be your quick timer. 56.33 seconds, 1 full third of a second up over Timothy Watson. James Watson right there as well, only 400ths back of Timothy Watson. This one is going to be a fun one to watch for sure. As you notice there on the track map, this one will be on the Cup layout, so no boot action tonight for these Indy cars, which quite frankly I think is pretty cool. A little different spin on things here. As always, tonight's racing action is proudly presented by the fine folks at Grid Rival. Check out the app on your favorite electronic device. It's a Formula One and MotoGP fantasy app. Pretty spectacular, actually. You can get on there. Once you join, it's all free. Search for ESRA, E-S-R-A. You can compete against the drivers, team owners, broadcast partners, and everybody else associated with the Grid Rival ESRA IndyCar Series. Take a look here as some of the cars are getting out on to the racetrack. Let's pick up Navarre Luce here as he makes his way down the front straightaway. Quickly down into turn number 1. We've been hearing some pretty interesting things, quite frankly, regarding tire fall off. We're hearing potentially lap 1 on the red tires could be the lap to go for pole. The tire fall off is happening that quickly around this place. The exit of turn 1, the exit of the bus stop are going to be 2 places that are absolutely critical to watch this evening. Especially as the tires start to wear, how you get the power back down is going to be critical. No penalties for the off tracks at turn 1 there. You got to get way up against the outside wall to bring that one in. How about 57.36, the quick lap time for Navarre Loose? But we've got a quick timer at the top of the board, and it's going to be the 89 of Nick DeGroot, 57.268 seconds. 9/10 up on where Navarre Loose is at this point, as we are 2 minutes 45 seconds into qualifying. Loose making his way down towards turn number 6. Very, very fast left-hander into the right-hander. This corner almost as quick as turn number 6 is. Very important to get the big run down the front straightaway. No quick time, top of the board. Navarre Loose, 57.092. How about Connor Baldwin went purple in 2 sectors of the racetrack, but the lap didn't score. Let's follow along here. Nick DeGroot, top of the speed charts, 57.078 seconds. See if Baldwin's going to be able to do anything here on lap number 2. Timothy Watson already 1 lap on the board. He's going to be 5th. Quick, J.W. Miller, Ty Richter running 3rd and 4th. They have completed their qualification runs. And Baldwin is slower both ends of the racetrack. Let's see what he does here out of turn 7. See if he can get a lap on the board here for time. No quick time, top of the board, Connor Baldwin, 56.756 seconds. How about a third of a second up over Nick DeGroot? That was a spectacular lap by Connor Baldwin. Yet to see defending champion Matt Wagner out on the racetrack. Some of the series regulars here, including Gary Godso, Gary Corley, Jeff Destino, they have not turned a lap yet either. Eric Schaus in the number 11, going to be up to 4th quick. It's a pretty good looking Hot Wheels ride. Oh, he goes way off at the end of the back straightaway. Schaus going to have to pull in, and that will be the end of his qualification run. So we pick up here with James Watson. Watson going to go 4th quick on the scoreboard. 57.096. Very, very tight field here thus far. How about to find 1 second? You have to go all the way back to 13th place, Zach Evans. We are just now halfway through the qualifying session. Let's bring in Connor Baldwin here, provisional pole sitter right now. Tell you what there, brother, absolutely fantastic lap going quick time there. It looks like Connor is not able to talk to us just yet here. Oh, man, if Watson's lap counts, this one's going to be a good one, too. See what he does on lap number 2. Second quick on the board, 57.059 for James Watson. I'm not sure if this one is any relation or not, but how about Craig Forsyth making his way down the back straightaway towards the inner loop? He will be the number 72 on your timing and scoring screens. Also carrying the 27 and obviously the players' colors. Made famous by the Forsyth Racing Team and future world champion Jacques Villeneuve, winning the 1995 Indianapolis 500. Now it looks like we got him here. Check out Connor Baldwin here. Tell you what, man, fantastic lap there to go quick time here provisionally.
Yeah, that was honestly kind of a surprise. That's the fastest I've gone throughout practice, so I was very much surprised, and I'm still surprised that nobody else is even kind of close to it. I mean, I guess Matt Wagner hasn't given it a shot, or Craig Forsyth, so I guess I shouldn't be counting my ducks too early.
Yeah, Forsyth just went purple sector 1. We'll see what he's going to do here over the rest of the lap.
Uh-oh.
But I'll tell you what, one, fantastic work on the cameras here, doing the camera design for us on the National Racing Network. But this is one of those, and without spilling state secrets here, could we see an off-strategy call from you early in this one?
Oh, 100%. I think the Reds are an absolute piece of garbage on the race car, so I think I'll be going black tires for every single stint except for one, because I obviously have to. Oh man, that was close from Craig.
Oh, Craig Forsyth, 56.766 seconds, 1/100th of a second off of Connor Baldwin's quick time.
Yeah, I think I'll be going on the blacks just to have him have more grip longer, keep the rear in check, and just try not to die. It's really going to be an endurance race here, so trying to keep the car in one piece.
All right, bud. Well, hey, looks like you may have a pole time here. We'll see what Matt Wagner's going to do as Craig Forsyth goes off track on his second lap. That one will not score. See where Matt Wagner is going to get to on the speed charts. Lap 1 does not score for Wagner.
Now, many hardcore watchers of the ESRA IndyCar series will remember what happened last time when I started on blacks at a road course. I absolutely took out Matt Wagner, who is the championship leader at Sonoma.
Yes.
But that was when I was starting, I think, third. So now I'm going to be in first. So hopefully it should be.
You say that
different.
now. Wagner's on a pretty good lap here as well. And, yeah, you did bin up a championship contender.
It didn't really affect him too much. He ended up winning.
Yes. 2 green laps. Oh, but he's off track. Wagner will not improve. In fact, Matt Wagner will not get a lap in the books. How about that? Down inside of 45 seconds to go here in qualifying. That one's going to be an interesting story. I'll tell you what, nobody else is going to get a lap in. Congratulations on what I believe is your first Grid Rival ESRA IndyCar Series pole award tonight, Connor.
It is. Thank you. The Aero Info Chevrolet just absolute crap ton of speed on that second lap.
Yeah, and it's funny, we were talking that some of the drivers were saying lap 1 might have been the better lap to go for speed.
I think I said that.
You did it, well, and you did it on lap 2. So, yeah, congratulations on the pole award here. Let's see if you can keep it out front.
Thank you.
There is your pole sitter tonight, Connor Baldwin, as the clocks have expired, and it is time to go racing. Get you the look here from overhead as we will bring you tonight's starting lineup. Presented, as always, by Grid Rival. Connor Baldwin, Craig Forsyth going to make up row number 1. Good run for James Watson, Nick DeGroot on row number 2. Navarre Luce, Eric Schaus will occupy the 3rd row for the start of tonight's race. Row number 4 will see J.W. Miller and Timothy Watson. Ty Richter, Alec Coates on row 5. Row 6 to Lee Huber and Charles Teed. Row 7, Victor Aldrich and Zach Evans. Row number 8, Jim Brooks and Cullen Johnston. Jason Hand, TJ McMurray on row number 9. And row 10 will be starting with row 10. All the drivers that did not get a lap in qualifications, including defending champion Matt Wagner and Gary Godso. Joseph Morales, Jeff Destino on row number 11. Row 12 going to see Gary Corley and Benjamin Combs. 24 cars scheduled to make up the starting grid for tonight's race. Don't see Matt Wagner available to talk to here. Waiting on Matt Wagner, now Gary Godso, to get their cars out onto the grid. Field going to get ready to pull away here momentarily. Gridding has completed. And, oh, how about this one? Pole sitter Connor Baldwin having some connection issues here. You'll see him pop in and out of your screen as we make the run down towards turn number 1. Hopefully the internet able to hold up here for Connor, because no better place to start a race at Watkins Glen than on the pole. Field will make their way up the hill through turn number 2. The right-hander, turn 3 at the top of the hill. Turn number 4 will be the sweeping right-hander. Full throttle, going to lead you out onto the long back straightaway and down towards the inner loop. That is an unnumbered corner. Seeing Gary Godso not on the grid, looks like he will be starting from the pit lane. So check in the comments. Let us know where you're watching from here this evening. Hopefully we're going to put on a good show for you here. Field's going to come around to complete their pace lap. And it will be go time for an 80-lap race here this evening. Let's get you the weather conditions presented by our friends at the Weather Center. Offensively accurate weather for eastern Pennsylvania. 74-degree ambient temperature. Wind's going to be out of the north at 2 miles an hour. 117-degree track temperatures. Last time we saw a number like that was at Sonoma last season, and these cars were a monster handful for these drivers to contend with. Watching how the weather conditions develop over the course of the race today, it may be the difference maker in who wins and who loses this race. You'll see the iRacing Porsche safety car make the right-hand turn onto pit lane. Field's going to come out onto the front straightaway. And as always, race fans, the start of the Grizz Rival ESRA INDYCAR Series is going to be all yours. One lap quickly in the books. Some early race trouble here. Seeing an issue in turn number 1 for Zach Evans and Cullen Johnston. Get your replay of the start here. See what happened to Zach Evans back there towards the back of the pack. Oh, Cullen Johnston off into the grass. Matt Wagner nearly got caught up in that one. Go on board with Matt Wagner. See what he saw. Whoa! There's a nice piece of driving early by Matt Wagner to stay out of harm's way. We go back to the front. Connor Baldwin still your race leader, holding on to a 0.3 of a second gap over Craig Forsyth. Nick DeGroot, Eric Schaus, James Watson, your top 5. Biggest mover on the race so far going to be Benjamin Combs in the number 27. He's up 9 spots to currently run in the 15th position. Pit windows look like they're going to be anywhere from 15 to 20 laps here tonight. We're hearing 20 is going to be a pretty big stretch in terms of fuel. And with how the tires are going to wear, this may be an instance where less is more, and making 4 stops is potentially a better strategy call. Oh, no, looks like Connor Baldwin is off the racetrack. We'll see. Now he's popping back in front, but tell you what, makes it tough for Craig Forsyth here to try to chase down a car that, well, quite frankly, at times just isn't there. Matt Wagner looking to the inside of Victor Aldrich. He gets that pass completed, but has to tuck back up onto the racetrack very tight in front of Aldrich at turn number 1. Next battle going on racetrack is just ahead of him. Ty Richter, Lee Huber, running about a third of a second apart here. Ty Richter in the blue and, well, mostly teal blue, I guess we'll say, number 33. Lee Huber in the AlphaTauri colored, liveried, we'll say, number 19. Matt Wagner not totally able to dispatch with Victor Aldrich or Alec Coates to this point. Wagner, the black and red car, carrying the number 1 as the defending champion. Victor Aldrich in the Team Watson Racing colors. Here comes Alec Coates having a peek down to the inside. Coates going to get that pass made into turn number 2. Now Benjamin Combs in the 27. Thought about having a peek. Our race winner 1 week ago, Charles Teed, running in the 15th position. Down 3 spots from where he started tonight, but Teed a little bit more of an oval specialist. He's not bad on the twisties, but definitely a little bit more of a contender on the oval side of things. Pass for second. Show it to you here on the Hot Shoe Racewear Instant Replay. Craig Forsyth, big tank slapper out of turn number 6. Nick DeGroot able to come by in turn 7. Put Nick DeGroot up to position number 2. Connor Baldwin out to a 2-second lead. He started on the harder black tires. Did Connor Baldwin. Nick DeGroot running on the optional reds. Basically what that means is he's got the stint done at this point. He can go black tires the rest of the race. And every driver will have to use both the primaries and the alternates here. In fact, with the exception of DeGroot, everybody inside the top 5 is on the primaries. Pretty even split in terms of who's running what sets of tires here. If DeGroot's able to hold on to this, that could be an early good strategy call for Nick DeGroot. Could be about halfway through the first run. Definitely going to be interesting to watch as this race develops. So we look at this fight here. Oh, actually, DeGroot having a little bit of an issue there. He's going to fall back to the 3rd position. First car coming, oh, well, we thought he was, coming down pit lane, Timothy Watson. Trying to see if there's any damage on that race car. Running the old Lotus colors. Take a look here and follow along with a pit stop for Timothy Watson. He's down and away, 8.5 seconds. early strategy call here for Timothy Watson. We'll see how that one may pan out over the course of the race. Pick up Jim Brooks and Charles T. That battle was fairly close. James Watson able to get around Nick DeGroot as well. Those alternate tires have gone away in a big-time hurry here for Nick DeGroot. Trouble on the racetrack for Navarre Luce. Get you the Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay on this one. Then we'll come back to your comments here in just a moment. See what happened to Luce back here towards the back of the pack. Just a little bit too much throttle. Big into the tire barriers. Tears the front end off of that race car, and he, unfortunately, has to take the tow back into the pit area. Shouldn't be too crazy long of a tow. Seeing Victor Aldrich also getting off the racing surface. Check out the comments here. Gaganzo saying, rooting for my bro Vic, tuning in from Cottonwood, Arizona. What's going on? Thank you very much for hanging out with us here tonight. Also, JG from the NW, long race, looking forward to see how this plays out. This one's going to be fun to watch the tire strategies and how these games that the drivers are going to have to play here are going to work. The top 5 all now on the primary tires. DeGroot, Hubert, Wagner, all running on the alternates. Matt Wagner's up 11 spots. Benjamin Combs up 14 from the start of the race. Gary Corley is up 10. Good run for Jeff Destino as well, up 7. Looks like Victor Aldrich going to make his way down pit road in the number 98. This is out of the 22nd position. Still a few laps away from that time window, or the pit window, being able to open up. Even lap 15, I don't think is going to be enough to get these drivers to the end of the field as we pick up race leader Connor Baldwin out to a 2.9 second lead over Eric Schaus. Schaus in that fantastically liveried Hot Wheels number 11. See a little bit of the race leader. He's in sight, but getting out to an almost 3-second lead at this point. Craig Forsyth holding on to the back of the number 11. Call the gap a half second there, then a further half second back to James Watson, who runs in the 4th position in his number 39. National Racing Network ZAS Designs on the side of that one. National Racing Network, proud partners of Team Watson Racing. J.W. Miller in the All-American Eagle Castrol colors. Also one of the Team Watson Racing drivers. There's Nick DeGroot in the number 89. Motorsport.com on the side of that machine. Nick, one of the better writers, quite frankly, on Motorsport. There's Lee Huber in the AlphaTauri, number 19. Has Matt Wagner all over his rear wing through turn number 1. Going to have to go to lap 16 to make this a 4-stop race. Otherwise, you're going to have to go 5 stops. Seeing Gary Corley is in the pit area now. He's down and away 8.57 seconds. Now, if you stop early, especially if you're able to run a 20-lap stint, sort of changes the calculus a little bit. You can run the alternate tires a little bit shorter of a stint. Things getting a little bit tighter here towards the front of the field. The gap down to 0.4 of a second now for Eric Schaus ahead of Craig Forsyth. Another 0.3 back to James Watson. Keeping the leader in sight, but the gap is now 3.5 seconds for Connor Baldwin. Doing exactly what he needs to do to win this race. Baldwin can be very fast. The consistency so there's Schaus running in the second position, just back behind him, Craig Forsyth and James Watson. Pretty interesting to see apex corners or corner speeds in turn 1. 98.3 miles an hour for Connor Baldwin, 97.4 for Eric Schaus, 97.5 for Craig Forsyth. It's not much, but it's those little bits of speed that you can carry through the corners that add up to a lot of time over the course of the race. Fastest lap belongs to Eric Schaus. Oh, trouble on the racetrack for Timothy Watson. Get you Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay. See what happened to Watson. This would be his second incident of the night. He was very quick in practice. Same thing, just a little bit too much throttle on corner exit at turn 6. He's able to get that car righted back around, but going to fall in towards the tail of the field. Jason Hand going to be down pit road now. Taking a look here, if Connor Baldwin were to pit this lap, that would put him back onto the racetrack right about the 11th position, as we work lap number 18. And that is going to be good on fuel at this point now. Baldwin can choose to stop at any time. Here are your first 2 cars down pit road. Second place running Eric Schaus. Third place Craig Forsyth. Looks like both of these cars, again, going to come out right around the top 10 here. Schaus is down and away, 8.12 seconds. 8 1/4 for Craig Forsyth. For Firestone Firehawks, full tank of Speedway Racing fuel. Benjamin Combs, Alec Coates, and Jim Brooks also on the pit lane. Combs down and away, 8.62 seconds. 8.13 for Alec Coates. Here comes race leader Connor Baldwin into the pit area. James Watson, J.W. Miller also pitting this time. I don't know that I want to put this comment on the air because this is only going to embolden him. But JG from the NW says, Jay Watson's livery is fantastic. Love the colors. Oh, man. I don't know. I don't know how much I agree with you there. Connor Baldwin down and away, 8.13 seconds. There's a good look at James Watson as he gets down and away. I tell you what, Zach Scott-Nicky does a fantastic job with the artwork for the Team Watson Racing colors because those neons are not easy to work with here by any stretch. Connor Baldwin down and away, 8.13 seconds. Total time on pit road, 39 flat. 38 flat for Eric Schaus. And there you see it, the lead back up over 3.7 seconds. Proud Papa checking in here in the comments. Forrest Baldwin saying, go Connor, eat more great American beef. You know it, sir. Yeah, JG from the NW, great job on the livery, guys. Yes, they are, they're cars you're not going to miss on the racetrack. That's for darn sure, too. The lead for Connor Baldwin as we hit 25% distance. Now 3.2 seconds. In and out, getting the job done. Connor Baldwin holding on to that race lead. There's Craig Forsyth just now making his way onto the back straightaway. Tight battle back in the pack here. Let's pick up for you. Alec Coates trying to get around Lee Huber. Oh, man, they almost made contact on the entry to the inner loop. Ty Richter, Benjamin Combs going to be right there as well. This is 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. New quick lap on the racetrack. It belongs to Eric Schaus, 58.04 seconds. He's within a half second of Craig Forsyth for the second position. To give you the tire rundown here, with the exception of Nick DeGroot and Alec Coates, everybody on the racetrack is on the alternate, or is on the primary Firestone tires. So the cars that made their stops at lap number 17 or 18, committing to the four-stop strategy, so where things stand right now, the only cars that are kind of on an alternate strategy here, going to be Ty Richter, who stopped at lap number 5. We would expect him in, quite frankly, any time at this point. Working lap number 23. We figure that about the most he's going to be able to do is go to lap 24 or so. Timothy Watson stopped at lap number 7. He's going to be due in around lap number 26 or so. For the cars that stopped at lap number 17, their window's going to open up at lap 34, about 11 or so laps from now. Cars that stopped on lap 18 could potentially go out to lap anywhere from 36 to 40 laps before they have to make their second pit stops. Seems like things have settled in here just a little bit. Some trouble on the racetrack for Cullen Johnston, TJ McMurray. Seeing Jason Hand also having some issues here. Those cars all getting back down and away. Let's run you through the field as we work lap number 25 now going up on the scoreboard. Race leader Connor Baldwin just putting Charles Teed 1 lap down. That is up to 13th place. That has gone 1 lap down to the race leader. Baldwin quickest starting on pole, out to a 3.5 second livery over this car. Craig Forsyth in the number 72. Forsyth started second, slots right in line, running a very nice race for himself here in his first start in the Grid Rival ESRA IndyCar Series. Another driver making his debut, the number 11 of Eric Schaus. The Hot Wheels car up 3 spots from where he started tonight, coming past James Watson, who runs in the 39. See that bright yellow, pink, and green machine. Watson runs in the 4th position. About a half second back, J.W. Miller, the All-American Eagle, up 2 spots from the start of the race tonight. One of the drivers he came past is the 89 motorsport.com entry of Nick DeGroot. Lee Huber runs in the 7th position. He is moved up 4 in the AlphaTauri Honda. Just back behind him a little ways here is Alec Coates. Call the gap 2.4 seconds between 7th and 8th. Coates is up 2 spots and being chased down by your hard charger of the night, number 27 of Benjamin Combs, another of the Team Watson racing cars. Combs up 15 spots from where the race started tonight. The livery is going to look familiar, but on different colors here. The Team Watson Racing, but it's the Auto Nation Sirius XM colors, piloted by Alexander Rossi in the real world, with either Auto Nation or Napa on the side of that car. Here's Jim Brooks in the number 51, the Area 51 entry, up 5 spots to run in the 10th position. Oh, big wreck for TJ McMurray. He's huge into the wall. Get you the Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay. Keep your eye on that red car coming out of the bus stop. Little bit of a twitch, catches the curb. Oh, my goodness, and huge impact right there. So, wow, who was the 3rd car in line there? My goodness. I believe that was Joseph Morales that made the big contact. Yes, it was. Let's go on board here with Morales. Absolutely nowhere to go. And Joseph Morales going to have to take the tow back to the pit area along with TJ McMurray. That was a monster hit. Pick up this battle once again, Alec Coates, Benjamin Combs. One of the tighter fights on the racetrack. Also, Timothy Watson and Charles Teed. talking with race control and the series admins before we got started here, that was definitely one of the things that concerned them a little bit, was with the tires falling off the way they are and the track temperatures, could see a lot of cars start to have issues later in the run. And we're starting to see that now as we're within about 6 laps or so from the next set of pit stops. Show you the weather conditions presented by the Weather Center. Offensively accurate weather for eastern Pennsylvania. 74-degree ambient temperature. Track temp actually down just slightly to 115 degrees. Definitely going to make a little bit of a difference here. The cooler they get, the better these cars are going to handle. Slide up, pick up James Watson. He's got J.W. Miller less than a half second back as they head into the bus stop here at lap number 29. Couple of laps shy of 50 to go here at Watkins Glen. Fastest lap of the race belongs to Connor Baldwin, 57.841 seconds. Here's Miller having a peek down to the inside of Watson towards turn number 1. He'll get the pass completed. The question is, can Watson try the crossover? And he will not. Going to lose that spot, position number 4, by about 4 car lengths to the exit of turn 1. Miller and Watson, 2 of the smarter drivers in the series in terms of tire conservation and fuel conservation. If there's an alternate strategy to be played here, don't be surprised if it's J.W. Miller or James Watson that's going to try that one. Looking at the tire strategy calls here, Nick DeGroot, Alec Coates, only 2 cars left on the lead lap that are on the alternate tires right now. And as we pick up Connor Baldwin, Alec Coates is only about a quarter of the racetrack ahead. The gap holding steady at a pretty consistent 3.2 seconds here. Show you the lap time differences between Baldwin and Forsyth. That last lap by Forsyth about a half second faster. Or excuse me, that was almost a half second slower that time. They're about 13 hundredths of a second faster for Forsyth. So he gains a little, he loses a little. Gains a little, loses a little. Lap 28, almost 6/10 of a second faster than Connor Baldwin. Lap 30, about a half second slower. It seems like it really is dependent on even where these drivers are catching lap traffic that's making a big difference here. Seeing Gary Corley is on the pit area. Tightest battle on the racetrack going to be between Jim Brooks and Ty Richter. Brooks in that black and green Area 51 entry. Ty Richter racing for position, trying to get around Brooks. But J.W. Miller, who runs in the 4th position, trying to split these 2 lap cars. Richter will see the blue move over flag. Miller going to get passed down into turn number 1. Nice pass there by Ty Richter, taking advantage of the blue flags. Timothy Watson also getting around Jim Brooks. Just a handful of laps away now from the halfway point. taking a look at if they were to pit now, because we are right about at the window opening here for the drivers at the front of the field. Connor Baldwin looks like he will be coming out right behind Nick DeGroot in the 6th position. So Lee Huber, Benjamin Combs, Alec Coates, regardless of when they pit, unless they try the big undercut, they will come out behind race leader Connor Baldwin. Baldwin would actually have a pretty decent gap here as well, kind of the split between cars. We anticipate he's going to be able to go to lap number 60. Or excuse me, lap 36 at least. Not 60, 36. Craig Forsyth also in his window. He also will come out basically right in between Nick DeGroot and Lee Huber. So finding some clean air to work with could be pretty important here. Making sure you don't get caught up in lap traffic or battles for position. Show you the gaps here. That is where everybody stands as they run right now. Jim Brooks on the pit area. That's why he is showing up in black under the gaps here. More importantly, though, show you the intervals. There is nobody close to each other at this point on the racetrack. Craig Forsyth is in. Pit stop number 2 for Craig Forsyth. We'll follow the number 72 as he makes his way down the pit lane. Eric Schaus stays on the racetrack, as does J.W. Miller. Little bit of an undercut call here by Craig Forsyth. Both of this car, as well as most of the leaders, will have to get on the red tires at some point. Forsyth going to be down and away, 8.03 seconds back on the primary Firestone Blacks. And this is sort of what we talked about, falling right in line with Charles T. There's going to be some dirty air issues for Craig Forsyth. Here comes Connor Baldwin making his way down pit road. Race leader is on pit lane, having to react to Forsyth's pit stop. He should come out ahead of Forsyth. Eric Schaus also on the pit lane. That will promote J.W. Miller to the race lead. Benjamin Combs also on the pit lane, making his way off and back onto the racing surface. Another set of the primary Firestone Blacks for Connor Baldwin. And Craig Forsyth going to come out almost 4 seconds behind your race leader. Baldwin going to have to put in a pretty epic lap here. Slow 9.02 second stop for Baldwin, 40.13 the total time on pit lane. J.W. Miller, race leader, now making his way down the pit lane. We'll see if Nick DeGroot is going to stay out. He's about 13.5 seconds back. He does not. There's DeGroot making his way onto the pit lane in the motorsport.com, number 89. Connor Baldwin back to the race lead. And how about a gap of 3 3/4 seconds for Connor Baldwin at the front of the field? Caught up in lap traffic. I believe that's Alec Coates just ahead of race leader Connor Baldwin. Coates clears out of the way. Baldwin going to hold on to that top spot. Craig Forsyth, 3.7 seconds back in the lead, continues to expand. This is the kind of night Connor Baldwin really wanted to have. Little bit surprised to start out front, but after that, it's hit your marks, run the race cleanly, and do what you can to open the gaps up. Maintain the advantage as Eric Schaus comes around week 1 winner, Charles Teed. 4th place right now is J.W. Miller. Let's slide back in the pack just a little bit here. Ty Richter, quarter of a second ahead of Timothy Watson. This is the tightest battle on the racetrack right now. Trouble on the racetrack for Gary Corley. See if we can see what happened here on the Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay. Down the back straightaway towards the inner loop. Oh, man, that was right in front of race leader Connor Baldwin, too. Go on board here with Baldwin, see what he saw. Oh, just a little breathe of the throttle, right back to the rhythm. Seeing trouble on the racetrack for Jim Brooks. See what happened here. Oh, he just missed the inner loop entirely. Overshoots it, noses it hard into the tire barriers. Jim Brooks has to take the toe back in as well. Keep your eye on this car, the number 1 of Matt Wagner. 12 seconds ahead of Ty Richter. So Wagner running all alone here in position number 7. He last stopped at lap number 24. It's going to put him on a little bit of an alternate strategy here. Timothy Watson down to the inside of Ty Richter. Richter going to fight back to the outside of turn 2. Has to fall back in line. Next pit stops for your leaders should come anywhere from lap 50 to lap 55. Seeing Zach Evans making his way down the pit road. Watson holding on to a 4/10 of a second advantage over Ty Richter. Richter sends it pretty deep there into turn number 1. Does not make up a ton of time. Benjamin Combs and Lee Huber battling for the 10th position. Huber going to get a good run out of turn 4. See if he gets the pass completed. Yes, he does, prior to the inner loop. That's the big one, because you do not want to be trying to make a pass through the inner loop with how sketchy the tires are on these cars here tonight. So far clean and green, and we would expect that to continue the rest of the way here. It would take a pretty odd incident at this point to see the caution flag come out. Here is your race leader, Connor Baldwin, catching up on Combs and Huber. Baldwin in the Aero Info, flyaeroinfo.com, Baldwin Agriland, number 15. holding on to the race leader. Aero Info, pretty neat company, providing real-time unmanned aerial photography and videography services, or drone services, to the agriculture industry. Also a lot of data involved in that as well. You can find them at flyaeroinfo.com. Matt Wagner just making his way out of the pits. He has made 3 stops, stopping here at lap number 42. We would expect to see him back in somewhere around lap 56 to lap 61. So Wagner already kind of getting set up for a possible final pit stop. Where this is really going to stand to benefit race leader Connor Baldwin, Craig Forsyth, Eric Schaus. These cars have run black tires the entire way in this race. They're looking at the possibility of stopping as late as lap 72 for their final pit stop. A short 8-lap stint on the red tires should be eminently manageable. That's the strategy call that we saw, I believe it was Ty Richter make very early in this race, stopping at lap number 7. Basically break it up into how few laps can I run on the reds, and then get me on the blacks the rest of the way. I know I'm going to lose a little bit of time. Unfortunately for Ty Richter, he is running 1 lap down in the 12th position. So again, pit stops coming for your leaders. Somewhere around, see, for the cars that stopped at lap number 35, that's going to be anywhere from 49 to 54. The cars that stopped at lap number 36 are going to be able to go anywhere from lap 50 to lap 55. Something tells me the strategy call that Matt Wagner is playing here is going to be very, very interesting to watch as this race goes on. Thank you to everybody who's checking in on YouTube and Twitch here this evening. Drop us a comment. Let us know what you think of the broadcast and the race. If you like what you're seeing, give it a like and a share. If you want to support us on a more personal level, we do have Super Chats and memberships available on the YouTube side of things as well. Tightest fight on the racetrack, Lee Huber, Benjamin Combs, and it's about 3/4 of a second between Huber's Alpha Tauri and Combs in the Auto Nation Team Watson Racing entry. Both of these cars just going a lap down to race leader Connor Baldwin. Only 6 cars remain on the lead lap. 6th place Nick DeGroot should be fairly comfortable here. He is 29 seconds back, actually now 30 seconds back, of your race leader, just past the halfway point. Seeing trouble on the racetrack for Gary Corley. Get you the Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay on this one. just clipped the grass a little bit hard into the tire barrier at turn 7. That was a massive impact for Gary Corley. He will have to take the toe back in. Seeing Barbara Jean Sattler checking in on YouTube. I am a fan of Vic Aldrich. Well, let's show you where Vic is running right now. Currently 16th position, 19 seconds in arrears of Jeff Destino, and a full lap ahead of Cullen Johnston for the 17th position. Pretty cool seeing some love for some of our other drivers here. This fight between Huber and Combs starting to get tight again. It's inside of a half second. Taking a look at the point standings here after round number 1. Charles Teed was your points leader over Matt Wagner, Alec Coates, Ty Richter, and Gary Godso, the top 5. Same as they finished 1 week ago. At the Auto Club Speedway. Series is off next weekend. Next Thursday night, I should say. Come back October 14th, and it will be a trip to the Red Bull Ring and the Grand Prix layout. Follow that up with visits to Pocono, Spa, and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Oval the first week of November. I can't believe we're talking about races in November already. Trouble on the racetrack for Ty Richter. Get a look and see what happened here. He had Nick DeGroot right behind him. Richter not giving any room at all. Pushes wide, gets it into the tire barrier. Has to drive that car back down onto pit lane. Didn't appear to be any damage. May have been a little bit of net code. But Richter back down onto the racetrack, 9.12 seconds. Going to be the time of the stop for Ty Richter at lap number 50. Seeing possibly connection issues for race leader Connor Baldwin. Really bouncing in and out in a very big way. There's a look. You can see, I mean, he's in and out and in and out. And I believe Baldwin's been, well, maybe not. Thought he was disconnected. Second place running. Craig Forsyth down pit road at lap number 54. Forsyth going to be down and away. He will come out in the 6th position here. Again, the first car to make the pit stop here. Here is race leader Connor Baldwin. See when he elects to come into the pit area. And it will be this time. So Baldwin in the pits at lap, excuse me, this one's going to be lap 54. 53, the stop for Forsyth. So long as he hits everything cleanly, no penalties, Baldwin should come out right about 6th position here. But we'll see. Once again, that car having serious connection issues. Here's J.W. Miller, and that may be the end of the night for Connor Baldwin. We are not seeing the counter. The lap counter is not going up. James Watson is in. Heartbreak for Connor Baldwin. This is your, oh, well, here we go. Now he's back out on the racetrack. This is going to be a storyline to watch over the rest of this race. The last 26 or so laps to go here. J.W. Miller going to hit pit road as the race leader. He will be quickly overtaken by Connor Baldwin, only about 10 seconds back. Miller going to be down and away. There is race leader Connor Baldwin making his way through the inner loop. Nick DeGroot on his way out of the pit box. 8.27 seconds, the time of the stop for DeGroot. Baldwin, once again, a slow stop, 9.02 seconds. And with the connection issues, we're actually seeing basically that a stop didn't happen for Baldwin. Now, obviously, he was able to come down and get the fuel. New fast lap of the race belongs to Eric Schaus in the number 11. 57.599 seconds. He is on a flyer. J.W. Miller using this stop to take the red alternate tires. And Baldwin is still going to have to take those alternates, as is Craig Forsyth, and I believe Eric Schaus as well. However, with the stops coming lap 53, 54, they could stop as late as lap 72 or 73 for their final pit stop of the race. And you're talking a 7 to 8 lap stint on those alternate tires. You're watching here the on-track battle for the second position. Craig Forsyth holding about 0.4 of a second on Eric Schaus. And they are catching up on Timothy Watson to put him a lap down. Watson running in the 8th position. The other of the Watsons, James Watson, runs in 7th. About 5 seconds or so up the road. Big dive down the straightaway for Schaus. He will easily claim 2nd down towards turn 1. See if Forsyth dives back down to the inside. Cleaner line for Forsyth out of 1, but not nearly close enough. Don't try to attempt the pass in 2 or 3 up the hill. Not going to do it in turn 4 either, but Forsyth going to get a good tow here down the back straightaway. The inner loop installed after the 1991 season, in which Tommy Kendall was severely injured in an IMSA prototype, and just a handful of weeks later, J.D. McDuffie was killed at turn number 5. Basically, the cars lost brakes entirely, and there was absolutely nothing to slow those cars down with massive collisions with the unprotected Armco barriers down there. They had some tires there, but that was really about it. At the time, no safer barriers or anything like that. Gagonzo checking in on YouTube, waiting to see how the red tires do for those few drivers at the end. It's going to be interesting. J.W. Miller has run them, as has Matt Wagner. Those drivers could make up a ton of time if, and this is the big if, the run is long enough for the Reds to have significant fall off. See the question from Barbara Jean Sattler asking if Vic Aldrich has been in the pits. He has. Last stop, lap number 46. So he should be due down just about any time now. Anywhere from lap 60 to lap 65 is what the magic Google box says the pit stop time should be there. I am not nearly quick enough to do that math in my head, by the way. Forsyth losing a little bit of ground here to Eric Schaus. Schaus holding on to the 2nd position. And they are closing on race leader Connor Baldwin. The lead down to 2.7 seconds. Now, not entirely sure if this isn't Baldwin backing off in terms of pace a little bit. Basically, if he conserves fuel, you can make that last run even shorter. Get it down to just 3 or 4 laps. And you're right in the window of being able to push hard on those red Firestone alternates. Once again, we'll show you the intervals. This is the gap from car to car. So Eric Schaus 3.2 seconds back of Connor Baldwin. And it's a full second back to Craig Forsyth. Taking a look here again, tight battle, Benjamin Combs and Lee Huber. Seeing Matt Wagner on pit road. Here's where the games are going to start to be played. Wagner is in his box, the area 51, number 1 of your defending champion. He will be quickly down and away, 8.63 seconds, and he's on the primaries. Matt Wagner should be able to go to the end of this race. Make sure my math is good there, but yeah, Matt Wagner good to go to the finish now. Timothy Watson coming in as well. Perhaps the most important thing here for Matt Wagner is a lot of open racetrack. The only thing that's working against him, quite frankly, at this point, with the pit stop, he's a lap down to race leader Connor Baldwin. The gap back up over 3 seconds to Eric Schaus. Show you the gaps all the way through the field here. How about 6th place James Watson being the final car on the lead lap here tonight. Timothy Watson is in the pits, and this is a long pit stop for Watson. He may be serving a penalty here. We'll see what the numbers are going to look like when he gets down and away. .17 seconds, the time of the stop. That is all but certainly a pit road speeding penalty for Timothy Watson. Going to put him back to the 12th position. Once again, Lee Huber, Benjamin Combs continuing this fight. These cars have been nose to tail almost the entire race here, but a very clean race to this point. Let's run you down through the cars that are out of the race. Gary Godso will finish 24th tonight. Navarre Luce, 23rd. Tough break there after a very quick practice and qualifying session for the 96. TJ McMurray, completing 22 laps, will finish in the 22nd position. Jim Brooks out of the race. He will finish 21st. 20th belongs to Jason Hand. 19th to Gary Corley. 18th place, Cullen Johnston. 5 laps down to the race leader. But he is still running on track in the 18th position. There you see your top 3 in order as they make their way down towards turn number 1. Connor Baldwin holds on to the race lead over Eric Schaus and Craig Forsyth. That gap is now back inside of 1 second. J.W. Miller is on pit road. Finally giving up on those alternates. He will make his 4th and final pit stop. Car up, quickly down off the jacks. 8.27 seconds for Firestone Firehawks. And a full tank of Speedway Racing fuel. Oh, man, big trouble. That will be a pit exit violation for J.W. Miller. Get you a look once again here at the Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay as he comes down and away. A little bit too much gusto on the pit exit. Clips the curb, slides wide, and that will absolutely, I'm almost positive, will be an unsafe pit exit penalty for J.W. Miller. Benjamin Combs, Lee Huber, Matt Wagner. Huber 7th, Combs 8th, Wagner 9th. These cars all nose to tail. Making their way through the carousel. Connor Baldwin giving up a lot of time right now. Having to sit back in traffic. He's catching up to James Watson to put him a lap down. Oh, man, almost contact there. Believe that was, that was Joseph Morales almost getting a piece of the race leader at turn number 1. Morales running in the 17th position. Here comes Eric Schaus. He gets around him. Oh, but Craig Forsyth held up in a big way by Morales in the 61. That may be the end of the battle there. Matt Wagner getting around Benjamin Combs. But again, that separated everybody out. Oh, Connor Baldwin, big contact with James Watson. Huge wreck for your race leader. Craig Forsyth going to dive in, hit pit road now. Eric Schau stays on the racetrack. Show you what happened here on the Hot Shoe Raceware Instant Replay to turn 7. Trying to avoid Ty Richter. Watson has to slide wide. Takes out the race leader. Watson has to tow in. Baldwin going to try to drive that car back into the pits. Forsyth down and away after an 8-second pit stop. And Connor Baldwin just getting moving now. Able to come out ahead of Morales. But that changes everything in this race. Eric Schaus, now your race leader. Forsyth and Baldwin both taking the alternate tires. Schaus going to stay out on the racetrack. All this is going to promote Nick DeGroot to the second position. However, Schaus and DeGroot have not made their final stops. There's Craig Forsyth, who stands to be your race leader. And there's Connor Baldwin, 4.6 seconds in arrears of Forsyth. James Watson down and away after 1 minute and 42 seconds in the pit lane. Baldwin may not have a shot at a podium at this point. Schau staying out on the racetrack. He looks like he's going to come out about 6 seconds back of Connor Baldwin, and he's losing time to Baldwin. Nick DeGroot looks like he would come out about 11 seconds back of J.W. Miller. Still inside the top 5, however. And it appears as though Schaus, unless he also has an issue, will come out in the 4th position. He'll be promoted to 3rd once Nick DeGroot makes his final stops. Alec Coates and Ty Richter out on the racetrack, or excuse me, in pit lane now. Pick up your effective race leader here, because Schaus and DeGroot, 1, they can't make it the rest of the way on fuel, and 2, they have to stop for tires at least one more time here. Forsyth just set the fastest lap of the race. 57.571, almost 0.3 of a second faster than Connor Baldwin. Show you the intervals here. The gap is over 4 seconds. Now back to Connor Baldwin. You see Baldwin there down on the inside of the racetrack, sliding back to the outside for the inner loop. At this point, if you're Connor Baldwin, it has to be about not making the mistake. He got caught out at an incident that was not of his doing. Here's race leader Eric Schaus in the pit area. Nick DeGroot stays out on the racetrack and comes past. Craig Forsyth also able to get around. Schaus going to be locked in a pretty tight battle here with Connor Baldwin. Baldwin coming out about 2.25 seconds behind Schaus for the runner-up position. That was the equivalent, almost the equivalent, of a pit speeding penalty for Connor Baldwin. That has to be a very frustrated young driver there. Here is race leader Nick DeGroot making his way down pit road. Motorsport.com on the side of that number 89. He will be back, should come out here right around J.W. Miller for the 5th position. There is your race leader, Craig Forsyth, holding a 1.2 second advantage over Eric Schaus. There's Connor Baldwin just entering the picture, running in the 3rd position. He's cut into the gap. It's down to 3.8 seconds. But he may need a little bit of help here from the race leaders, either fighting each other too aggressively or making contact. Schaus going to have a great run down towards turn 1. Has to lay off. This is the fight for the lead with 6 laps to go here at Watkins Glen. Schaus just set the fastest lap of the race, 57.116. Takes a peek at 2. Looks outside now into 4. Tucks back in line. Forsyth going to cover the inside lane down to the bus stop. It may not matter. Drag race for the race win to the bus stop. Forsyth holds on to the spot. Schaus has to tuck back in line, and he's going to lose a handful of car lengths. This is exactly what Connor Baldwin wants to see. This could be a 3-car battle after all. If they keep it up, it's now inside of 3 seconds, right about 3.1 seconds, from 2nd to 3rd. Forsyth slides a little bit wide. Schaus trying to get down to the inside. He's going to make the dive into turn 1. Forsyth has to run a little bit wide. That also forces Schaus to pitch off just slightly. They're still side by side up the S's. New race leader Eric Schaus to 3. Now 5 to go here at the Glen. Schaus going to cover the inside line into the bus stop. Forsyth may push it here. Elects to tuck back in line. Little bit of a wide exit on the second part of the bus stop for Craig Forsyth. The gap to 3rd place Connor Baldwin down to 3 2/3 seconds. Alec Coates just ahead of race leader Eric Schaus. And Coates is not an easy car to get around. Only real opportunity for Schaus to clear the lap car is going to be at the bus stop if he can get close enough. Coates moves over, gives the line to the race leader into the bus stop. It's 1.7 seconds to Craig Forsyth and 4 seconds back now to Connor Baldwin. Eric Schaus has absolutely timed this out perfectly. The problem is if they're too aggressive on the red tires, they could burn them off before we get to the end of this race. Three laps remaining in the second round of the Grid Rival ESRA INDYCAR Series, round number 2. Alec Coates all over the back of Craig Forsyth, not letting that car go away quietly, and that's allowing Connor Baldwin to catch up. Baldwin may have a run here at second place, but we are down to 2 to go. Everybody, quite frankly, about playing nicely at this point. Looking at the cars out of the race, 17th place will finish tonight with Ty Richter. 18th to Joseph Morales, 19th Gary Corley, 20th Jason Hand, 21st Jim Brooks, TJ McMurray 22nd, Navarre Luce 23rd, and Gary Godso 24th. Baldwin now going to have to clear the lap car of Coates. Both of these cars are rapidly closing on race leader Eric Schaus. But Schaus with only 1 lap to go here at Watkins Glen. See the white flag in the air. And all 3 of your podium finishers on the front straightaway together. How about it's down to 2 1/4 seconds? But it's going to have to be a pretty insane drive here, a pretty big mistake for Eric Schaus. And we have not seen that yet tonight. Out of the Hot Wheels, number 11. Half a lap to go through the bus stop for the final time. It will be the right-hand, almost 180-degree carousel. Quick flick left for turn 6. Quick flick right for the final turn 7. And a pair of twin checkered flags awaiting Eric Schaus through the final corner. He is clean. Twin checkers in the air. Eric Schaus claims the win at Watkins Glen. Craig Forsyth comes home second. Connor Baldwin third by only about half a second. Have to go a ways back here to pick up Nick DeGroot. Good run for DeGroot. He comes home with a 4th place finish tonight. And down across the line there is J.W. Miller, who will come home in the 5th position. There is your race winner, Eric Schaus, getting his first career win and I believe his first career start in the Grid Rival ESRA INDYCAR Series. Or at least I'll let the admins correct me if I'm wrong on that one, but there are your podium finishers lining up for the victory podium celebrations here. Schaus, Forsyth, and Baldwin. Doing the victory donuts down at turn number 1, burning them down, is your race winner, Eric Schaus, by 1.7 seconds over Craig Forsyth. Connor Baldwin comes home 3rd. 4th, Nick DeGroot. 5th, J.W. Miller. 6th place, Matt Wagner, the final car on the lead lap. 7th place, Lee Huber. 8th to Benjamin Combs. 9th, Alec Coates. 10th place tonight is Timothy Watson. James Watson going to come home 11th. Zach Evans 12th. Charles Teed in the 13th position. 14th belongs to Vic Aldrich. Jeff Destino 15th. Cullen Johnston 16th. 17th Ty Richter. 18th Joseph Morales. 19th Gary Corley. 20th to Jason Hand. Jim Brooks 21st. TJ McMurray 22nd. Navarre Luce 23rd. And rounding out the field tonight is Gary Godso. Let's kick off our podium interviews tonight here with, quite frankly, the biggest hard luck award I think we've ever seen. Connor Baldwin, that race was absolutely yours in hand. Tell us what you saw with that incident late in the race.
Jeez. Sorry, I'm just trying to... It was a long race, and, of course, that there at the end. I was right behind James going into that second-to-last corner, and he was a lot slower going into that second-to-last corner than I was, so I had to check up a lot. So I was right behind him. And then I was kind of on the inside because I was about to pass around him on the inside for the blue flag, or on the outside for the blue flag. And then all of a sudden I don't even know who it was, but they just came onto the track on the right side, and that scared James, who came into me, and then we both went into the wall. But I was very fortunate just to have enough damage where I could still limp to the pits, put on those red tires, and somehow salvage third and almost got second there at the
Yeah, that was it. The drive was really fantastic tonight. You were surprised with your pace in qualifying, but we saw a lot of speed out of that car in the race as well. Ultimately, if not for that incident, ifs, buts, and whatnots, all in all, you have to be, quite frankly, pretty impressed with the performance here tonight, and really a lot of momentum as we're going to head into the off week and then a couple of fun tracks, the Red Bull Ring, Pocono, and then out to Spa.
Don't we have Twin Ring next week?
Oh, yeah, Twin Ring next week. Sorry. Yes.
But yeah, that was... I'm going to be honest. I just was constantly looking at my relative and seeing that I was just maintaining that 3 to 4 second gap back to Craig and Eric. And they raced an absolutely amazing too. I mean, they were on par with me the entire time. Their strategy, I think, was probably the same as mine. I think Craig went on the reds on that second to last stop. But, I mean, no doubt to them, too. They were absolutely amazing racing as well. And I'm very glad we were able to keep it clean that first lap.
Yeah, that was the strategy call was kind of interesting because all three of you guys went the same direction. You all finished the race on the alternates. Was that really the game changer for you being able to keep that car up front? Was that strategy call of run the primaries and do as few laps as you can on the alternates?
Yeah, being up front was really key. And after that first stop, they kind of undercutted me on that first stop, and they gained probably like 3 or 4 seconds, but I was able to keep it out in front, and I knew that as the race went on, the track was going to get colder, and that's what it did. I think it probably dropped by like 4 degrees Celsius. Unfortunately, I'm using communist units there, but that's all the data I have. But yeah, it got cooler, and that's really what let me run the red tires for. I think I had to run them for 11 laps. 11 laps. And I almost got very close to Craig there at the end.
It was a heck of a run. So congratulations on that one. Let's get all the sponsor plugs and thank yous in here as well.
Got a big shout out. He pays my iRacing subscription. The CEO of AeroInfo. You can reach them at flyaeroinfo.com. They do drone ag stuff. Thank you for broadcasting. I'll thank myself for the camera designs.
Yes.
And thank you everybody for watching. That was a very fun and intense race.
Yes, it was. Let's bring up our runner-up here this evening, Mr. Craig Forsyth. A familiar name in familiar colors. I believe this is your first start in the Grid Rival ESRA INDYCAR Series, and you're going to come home with a second-place finish tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I could not have asked for. Well, I guess I could have asked for one better result, but I've raced Eric enough times to know that it's always going to be a coin toss between the two of us if we're coming to the end in the last couple laps.
What went through your head when you saw that Connor had his issue with lap traffic, and all of a sudden the race kind of looked like it was going to fall into your lap there for a minute or two?
I wasn't sure what there were parts all over the track in those last 2 corners, and I wasn't sure if I'd taken damage or not. I had already been knowing I was going to pit probably in 2 laps, so I just figured dive into the pits in case I had damage, get onto the reds, and just go for it, and hope that maybe Eric had been slowed down as well. And it turned out he hadn't been slowed down. I mean, on the Reds, I was able to get a couple really hot laps in, which is what put me out into the lead. But at that point, the Reds, you burn off the Reds after only a couple laps. So once he got onto the Reds and behind me, I knew it was only a matter of time before he got around me.
I was going to say, it was the difference in stint length was only 4 laps. You went 12 on the Reds. He only had to go 8. Was that ultimately the 2 seconds that was there between you and first place tonight?
Yeah, that's absolutely what it was. You basically have 3-4 laps on the Reds, and then they just fall away. They're not I doubt anyone. I don't know. I think Nick was probably the only person that tried to push the Reds really far. I think they were not the tire of choice tonight, definitely for me at least.
Well, it was a fantastic run here for your first start in the Grid Rival ESRA IndyCar Series. Hopefully we get to see you run a bunch more here. Let's make sure we get all the sponsor plugs and thank yous in before we let you go.
Yeah, thanks. No, admittedly, I am just running this part-time because usually my Thursdays are busy, but the LMC Gear crew, got to thank them. It's always good to put on a good show for them and get a good result. So that's my thanks.
All right, brother. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate you hanging out with us here a little bit as well. And let's bring in a guy getting his first win in an absolutely beautiful race car. That number 11 Hot Wheels entry of Eric Schaus. Congratulations on your first win in the Grid Rival ESRA IndyCar Series.
Yeah, thank you.
It looks like we had, I'm not sure how much of the incident you saw that Connor Baldwin had ahead of you, but in the end, it may not have mattered anyway. You were able to run that last stint. You only had to do 8 laps on the red tires. Was that sort of the thought process the entire race once you saw what the fall off was going to look like on the reds?
Yeah, I was just trying to manage traffic, pit when there wasn't going to be traffic, that kind of thing. If I could extend it an extra lap or two, that was definitely in my favor once I got on the reds. So certainly tried to do that whenever possible. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, those guys out there were fast. Craig was crazy fast. Connor was incredibly fast. He just had some bad luck with that wreck in front of me.
All in all, it seemed like it was one of those nights where the top 3 were going to distance themselves, and that's what we saw, ultimately with a 17-second margin of victory. What else goes into it besides just managing tires? How are you able to manage those gaps to lap traffic? And I know when I'm driving on the sim, I have no idea where I'm going to come out relative to anybody else. So how do you manage that as a driver from inside the cockpit of knowing, okay, I'm going to have a window that I can pit here?
Yeah, it's difficult to do when you're in the cockpit. A lot of it is just racing within your own limits and, making sure you're clean every lap. Don't make any mistakes. Don't make any mistakes pitting in and pitting out, that kind of thing. And, at that point, just hope for the best.
Well, congratulations once again on your first win here in the Grid Rival ESRA IndyCar Series. Let's make sure we get all the sponsor plugs and thank yous taken care of here as well.
Yeah, thanks to you guys for the broadcast. I look forward to going back and watching it. Thank you to everybody putting on this ESRA IndyCar Series. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I look forward to all the road course races along with the ovals. And yeah, thanks for everybody else out there supporting us.
All right, brother. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate you hanging out and checking in with us here. And with that, we're going to have to get on the road because we've got another broadcast coming up here in, quite frankly, just a few minutes. Coming up at 10:15 p.m. in the East, it will be the Indy Pro 2000 Official Series Championship. Coming up from Road Atlanta, Brazelton, Georgia. Very, very fast road course layout. This place is spectacular in the PM18s. Got to do a few testing laps there earlier this week myself. We are in for a big-time show for the Indy Pro 2000 Official Series Championship. Coming up tomorrow night, weather permitting, and quite frankly, network permitting, it will be real-world racing action from Linda Speedway, Jonestown, Pennsylvania. Then we're coming back on Monday night with the next week, I guess week 3 already, if you can believe that, of the Silver Crown Championship, official Silver Crown Cup. Then Tuesday night, it's the TNT Rock Block. But we're going to be right back here, 10:15 in the East with the Indy Pro 2000 Championship. For Camera Design and third place finisher tonight, Connor Baldwin. and everybody else here at the National Racing Network. My name is Chris Graham. It has been a pleasure to have you hanging out with us. We will talk to you in just about 15 minutes or so. Till then, have a great night, everybody.